What on earth is happening? If you've been keeping an eye on the streamer space the past few years, you've probably witnessed what most would call one of the biggest talent shakeups in recent memory. From Mixer poaching high rollers like Ninja and Shroud,
because the youth of society. You shut up when I'm talking to you! You shut your mouth!
to YouTube whisking away Twitch's #1 golden boy Ludwig and some of his compadres. It's gotten to the point where it almost looks like something out of an episode of Succession. But as the sun dawns and the foot soldiers count their casualties, new challengers approach. And if you're anything like me, this one feels very different. This one feels personal. Attention, dear viewers. Before we embark on this journey, there's a pressing matter that requires your attention. Only 1.4% of you have subscribed to the channel. So, doctor's orders, just smash that subscribe button. It's completely free, and hey, you can always change your mind later, guilt-free, and it won't even cost you a penny.
Are you going to kick?
No. I can say whatever I want. This is gonna be so fun. Yes!
Dude, hold on. Watch this. I'm gonna see what I say.
Oh yeah, you're still on Twitch. That's right.
I'm sitting here like, I'm thinking, whoa. Are people this brainwashed?
So, let's get introductions out of the way. Trainwrecks TV, or Tyler Nicknam, is one of the most controversial Twitch streamers in recent memory. From catching bans for having choice words about the rise of hot tub streamers, to billion-dollar gambling sponsorships that we all no doubt wish we had. But instead of looping on the Twitch gambling problem and talking about how terrible it is/was, let's skip all of the filler and fast forward to the topic of today's video, Kick. Tyler is arguably the shepherd for Kick. After Twitch imposed inconsistent restrictions regarding gambling and even implemented a new 50-50 partner split, taking money away from their user base, some streamers found themselves estranged from Twitch's new corporate strategy. And while heavy hitters like Ludwig were poised to move to YouTube gaming, Trainwrecks had other ideas. Kick had an astounding 200,000 pre-registers only a little over 24 hours after its full announcement. But so far, this all looks to be pretty routine for a website launch. What is Kick doing that's different? And how do they have an edge over the competition? Well, in my opinion, it has to do with the type of creator that Kick is exclusively signing, the laxer TOS, and the communities that are being fostered on the website. But in order to understand the present, we need to understand the past. Which leads us to... At a time where live streaming was basically monopolized by Twitch, it made sense for a rival media and software company like Microsoft to try and rise to the occasion. And on August 11th, 2016, that's exactly what they did, acquiring a small streaming company named Beam, renaming it Mixer, and integrating it with Windows 10 and the Xbox One, their flagship products. Mixer seemed like a revolution of the streaming landscape, offering lower latency and new leagues of viewer participation. Mixer seemed like the golden goose that Microsoft was so obviously pining for, and after signing some of the biggest Twitch personalities at the time, like Tyler Ninja Blevins and professional CSGO player Shroud, it seemed like Twitch was gonna have a difficult time this go-round. But despite a 188% quarter-by-quarter increase in the amount of unique hours of content being streamed on the service, viewers were low, really low, with the percentage of concurrent viewers falling by over 11%. Just as Mixer had rose, it had fallen. And on June 22nd, 2020, citing a poor market share and an inability to scale in comparison to competing services, Microsoft announced that Mixer would be shut down permanently on July 22nd, 2020, with them releasing their exclusivity contracts with both Ninja and Shroud. In spite of the positive and uplifting community Mixer had fostered, it was yet another drop in the bucket for Twitch. I'd even argue that the failure of the platform further positioned Twitch as the dominant figure in the live streaming space. But why did Mixer fail with such high rollers attached to the platform? Why did none of their viewers follow? Well, to start with, the streamers Mixer signed didn't have mobile communities. They aren't rabid, they aren't killers, and they certainly won't follow you to a whole new website to make a whole new account and to start a whole new subscription. They aren't dedicated enough to do that, and there's a few reasons for this that we could get into. There's age, viewer interactivity, the other options available on Twitch, community loyalty, etc. But I think what might be far more useful for this video is actually to explain how Kick seems to be learning from the mistakes of Mixer. One of the first things Kick did that set it apart from the competition was the decision to sign creators that had been shunned by Twitch. Instead of taking the Golden Boys, Kick took the troublemakers, and not without good reason. These streamers, although controversial, have a much bigger parasocial connection to their audience, due to the fact that they are always under attack. Seeing everyone criticize your favorite streamer relentlessly not only makes you want to defend them more, but also makes you like them more. So when these creators hop platforms, the audience instantaneously and loyally follows. Some examples of streamers like this are Aiden Ross and Steven Destiny Banal. They both have gotten into their fair share of drama and press attention, and have both gotten into some serious drama. So let's take a brief look at some of these internet titans. Aiden Ross, family man, loving brother, all around nice guy. But if you need a character testimony, take it from his best friend and mentor, Andrew Tate.
Young man, I'm deadly serious. If you were my son, I would walk into your bedroom and beat the living out of you.
What?
But luckily,
in GTA, right?
I'm gonna up at that as well. But in the real world, you need some real lessons, young man.
On the other hand, we've got Steven Destiny Banal, who we've talked about on the channel before. Rocking a new blue haircut and a new router, he's ready to have the best debates that online streaming has to offer.
Still mad?
Okay, first
Wait, hold on, wait. What?
Dude,
what?
Hey, listen. Hey, Destiny, this is great memes. I don't actually know what's wrong with you at the moment.
Wait.
You actually seem unhinged.
Okay, so
all jokes aside, these two creators alone have incredibly impressive and loyal fan bases. I'd argue these content creator behemoths are the exact type of creator Mixer should have signed to avoid its own failure. But I won't attribute the whole failure of Mixer to one problem, no matter how massive it may be. So far, we've spent quite some time focusing on the current and ex-competitors of Twitch, but I think we should circle back and discuss the most important aspect of this case. So let's get down to the meat of this discussion. Will Kick really be able to dethrone Twitch as the ultimate site for live streaming? Well, Kick's major draws against Twitch right now are pretty unique. Aside from the creator signing we talked about earlier, including the recent non-exclusive signing of Twitch superstar XQC, Kick being new, undominated territory presents a remarkable opportunity for smaller streamers to make a name for themselves, whereas Twitch already has an established hierarchy that's pretty hard to break into. Kick's laxer TOS also attracts creators with massive audiences that have been blacklisted from other sites, for better or for worse. This kind of site draws people back to that old age of the internet that we talked about earlier, where anything goes. People crave that type of experience online nowadays. The site's gambling side also provides a pretty good safety net. Worst case scenario, Kick is the #1 website for live-streamed gambling, with Stake having a majority stake in the company. If they can't scale up their operations, they've got a pretty comfortable spot in the stadium, regardless of how many rows back they are. In some ways, Kick reminds me of the old age of YouTube. When Google first bought it, YouTube was, according to anonymous sources, roughly break even, which is not great for a $1 billion buyout. But YouTube had something Kick didn't: massive influence. Relatively recently, when the finances of YouTube were publicized, we see that it's now a $1 billion profitable subsidiary. Most used to purport that YouTube wasn't really making enough revenue, and that Google was comfortable hemorrhaging money to keep that influence we mentioned earlier. But it appears that the company has undergone a massive transformation, albeit at the loss of the creative soul it used to have. So can Kick really make this same leap of faith without losing their head? Well, it stands to reason that if Twitch is losing money, as indicated by the revenue split they shifted in favor of themselves recently, then Amazon seems willing to dump as much money into this product as they need to keep it alive and positioned correctly. But with community revolts and insane, reputationally fracturing drama practically every 3 months, can Twitch really stand the heat? It's clear that the next 10 years are going to be rough. Not only for us, but also for corporations and companies. So the question is, can Kick brave the storm and come out victorious? Well, no. Probably not. This isn't the type of conclusion I'd want a video like this to come to. I think Kick is legitimately an extremely important litmus test for the alt tech space. Time and time again, we've seen other websites try and fail to establish themselves as competition. Mixer? Dead. Storyfire? Dead. Vimeo and Dailymotion? Irrelevant. You just can't win against the money. It will wash you away every time. Twitch has a massive amount of cultural influence that just can't be curtailed. The day Twitch is dethroned is the day people stop seeing it as the site for live streaming. And it's been around for so long and had so much time to spread its tendrils and create a special kind of influence that I just don't think Kick can effectively use its 15 minutes of fame to debase. Twitch has handled worse in the past, and Kick isn't that intimidating of an opponent yet to spook anyone. As the alt tech space continues to warp and expand, it's definitely fair to be cynical about the future of many of our major players. And while we can use evidence to formulate opinions and speculate on the future, that's really all we can do. Speculate. Looking at the current trajectory of Kick, it's quite easy to be as optimistic as I've been. I mean, look at the community support all over the internet, and the 95% split with streamers. These are brilliant changes to the structure of streaming. But something about these developments still elicit a sense of cynicism in me. There's a part of me that believes that Kick might simply just be the marketing arm for a gambling company. that all these announcements and all these new features will eventually amount to nothing. Just empty promises, forever being another online vat of untapped potential. Rest assured, the danger is real, and to our major players, you have precious little time to save yourself. So know your history, or you'll be doomed to repeat it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.